Soon, all students around the state of Florida will have the opportunity to show just how hard they have worked and how much they have learned this school year. During the month of April and May, students will take the FSA, the Florida Standards Assessment. Now, while an education isn't only about a test, the results of these tests do guide a lot of the future planning for your student, your child's future academic careers. So it's really important that they put their best foot forward on test day. But more importantly, the preparation before test day needs to be strategic. So today I'd like to take you through a quick tutorial on how to help your student strategically take a test. So first I'm going to summarize some simple test-taking strategies that I would love for your student to practice. And the key is that they practice these skills many times prior to testing. So when they get into the test and the anxiety is higher, the pressure's on, there's a time limit, they don't completely blank on these strategies. These strategies need to become muscle memory. Before I give you the strategies, I want to show you an opportunity that you have for you and your students to practice these strategies. If you go to fsassessments.org, you'll find access to practice tests for all grade levels, and your student can get familiar with the testing browser and format that they'll have to navigate during the test. So this is a great resource for you to explore at a later date. Again, that's at fsassessments.org.
Now let's look at some before, during, and after strategies that will help your student be successful on the FSA.
All right, let's go ahead and use these strategies on a sample test. So I'm going to go to this website that I shared with you, fsassessments.org. Let's go practice the test together. When I arrive to the website, I see all these blue button options over here. I'm going to click Practice Tests. Now there's a computer practice test. Now this is an example of exactly what your student will see when they take the test. Now go ahead and select your grade. I'm going to do 8th grade, and see you can practice several different tests. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the reading test practice. These are my settings. Your student gets to choose certain settings that they have, whether they want the text to be bigger, or the background to be a different color. I highly suggest them not choose a color that they haven't practiced with before, because you don't want anything to distract them or mess them up as they're reading. So I've made my selections, and you click that to see if you can hear sounds, because there will be audio questions. I'm going to say yes and continue. My test settings, I can view them, I can view a help guide, but I'm going to just begin. Okay, so here is the layout of what the test looks like. So on the left side are the texts, on the right side the questions, and you can see that there are 7 questions for these 3 texts. Now, one of the awesome things that they do for us is you have a note sheet. There's a notepad here. So this is where I'm going to do my preview and my prediction and my sampling of the questions. So here I go. I'm going to do my preview now. My title for the first passage 1, I'm just going to say passage 1, and I'm going to pull out spirit. And first sentence: I will not stay in Lowell any longer. I am determined to give my notice this very day, said Ellen Collins, as the earliest bell was tolling to remind us of the hour for labor. Alright, I'm going to do Lowell because it's capitalized, and labor. So this this person's working. And I have not pre-read this, so I'm doing this fresh live for you. About halfway through the text, this is maybe paragraph 7, so I'm going to read this sentence. "All that is very true," replied Ellen, "but if we were to attend every public institution and every evening school which offers itself for our improvement, we might spend every farthing of our earnings, and even more." Oh, wow, okay, school. All right, next I'll do the last sentence. Let's see, this is a long one. All right. "We agree that since we must work for a living, the mill, all things considered, is the most pleasant and most calculated to promote our welfare, that we will work diligently during the hours of labor, improve our leisure to the best advantage in the cultivation of the mind, hoping thereby not only to increase our own pleasure, but also to add to the happiness of those around us." Add happiness. I think that's what I'm going to write there. So now I'm going to do my prediction for passage 1. And that is, well, we got spirit, we got Lowell, labor, school, and add happiness. This text is about a person named Lowell who has a hard working spirit at school and hopes to add happiness to all. I have no idea if that's correct, but that's not the point. I'm setting an expectation for myself before I actually go in and read the text. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the preview and prediction for passage 2 before I go into questions, because even though question 1's question is about passage 1, other questions are going to be about connecting the different passages together, which I can't do until I've read all of them. So I'm just going to do the preview and prediction for all of them first. So passage 2, my title says The Mill Girls. I'm going to put girls. Okay? The first sentence. To find workers for their mills in early Lowell, the textile corporations recruited women from New England farms and villages. Lowell Farms. Now it looks like I was actually wrong up here. Lowell is a place, not a person. But I'm just going with it. Now I know something. Before I've even read, I know something. I'm making meaning before I'm reading, and it's pretty easy to do. All right, I'm gonna go right here from the middle. The majority of mill girls in Lowell lived in boarding houses. Girls in boarding houses. Okay, and then my last sentence. The bonds created through daily social intercourse helped new workers adjust to the demands of factory life. Ooh, factory life. So my understanding of what these passages are about is really evolving now. So I'm going to write my prediction. This text is about girls working at a factory and living in boarding houses in Lowell. Okay. Now I can't do the same strategy with my audio clip, but it looks like the audio clip has the same title as passage 1, so maybe it's another part of it that is being read to me instead of me reading it. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to go to my questions and do a preview of those questions. And I'm going to jot down my question words. So, question 1. Select 2 sentences from passage 1 that show that Ellen is willing to consider another person's point of view. I'm going to do POV. That's my key word. I'm not going to read the options at all. That's not what I'm looking at right now. I might get tied up into a distractor. All I'm doing is previewing the questions and jotting down these keywords. Okay, question 2 is a two-parter. So, which sentence states a theme of passage 1? So this is about theme. I'm not really going to be able to find the word theme in the passage, but I know that I'm looking for it now. And then part B is telling me where to get evidence to support that theme, and that's paragraph 6. So I'm going to really pay attention to paragraph 6 once I get there. All right, question 3. All right, question 3. How do the repeated references to the ringing bell affect the dialogue between the narrator and Ellen throughout passage 1? All right, so I'm looking for ringing bell. All right, so whenever I get to ringing bell stuff, I know I need to pay attention. Next, what does the phrase destitute of friends suggest in paragraph 7? That's easy. They're telling me that I need to make meaning from this phrase. So I'm going to write it down, P7. Pay close attention. Now I know, before I even read, what I really need to focus on. Paragraph 6, paragraph 7. Question 5. How is the narrator's point of view different from Ellen's? Again, another point of view question. All right, question 6. Passage 1 and passage 3 present the same story in different formats. Which element of the story is emphasized by listening to the audio clip in passage 3? Okay. I need to do audio clip for this one. That's my key word. And the last question here. Select 2 facts from passage 2 that play a role in the story presented in passage 1. All right. There's no key word here, but what does it want me to do? It wants me to connect passage 1 to passage 2. Now I know what I'm looking for. Now I can go back and read my text. So as I read, I'm going to highlight any of these key words in the text, or anything that makes me think about these keywords in the text. That way I'm not reading my passages twice or 3 times, going back to find the answers. I'm finding the answers as I read the first time. So though I've done a lot of setup, and you might be thinking, how the heck do I have enough time to do this? This actually saves you time in the end. Because for me, when I took standardized testing, I struggled with comprehension. After I started trying to answer the questions, I would have to go back and really take a lot of time to find answers. But if I'm finding the answers while I'm reading, I am going to be more efficient and strategic in how I'm taking the test. So that is a quick overview of how I would take the test strategically. Good luck.